أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Welcome, spiritual seeker. I am genuinely so glad you've joined us today. So we're jumping right into our explainer and we're embarking on a really special, unhurried journey into the first 4 verses of Surah al-Taghābun. Now, if you recall from our look at the previous chapter, Surah al-Munafiqun, it left us at this incredibly still point of an audited soul, right? It's a place of utter, granular intimacy where literally every secret is measured. But today, we're going to gently widen that lens.
And to help us do that, let's just sit with this thought for a moment. O seeker, step out for a moment from the close audit and look up. I just love this. It acts like a warm spiritual embrace, you know? It gently pulls us away from those inner anxieties, from the heavy ledgers of all our mistakes, and simply invites us to gaze out into the vast open cosmos. It's this beautiful reminder that we are part of a much, much grander theater of disclosure.
And looking up naturally makes us ask a pretty profound question. Are we alone in our praise, or is the universe already singing? The very first verse of this surah answers this by instantly shifting our perspective. It tells us that absolutely everything in the heavens and the earth is, right in this very moment, publicly and continuously glorifying God. There's literally no outside to retreat to. The entire cosmos is wrapped up in an ongoing song of praise.
Okay, let's dive right into this, because this isn't just about trees and stars making sounds. The great Sufi master al-Qushayri gives us a breathtaking inner, or batin, insight here. He says that creation isn't given the capacity for praise as some extra optional ornament. No, being itself is praise. To exist is to glorify. So what does this mean for us? It means our spiritual task isn't to invent remembrance from scratch, but simply to recognize that we're already swimming in a praising sea. We just need to open our mouths and consciously join the song.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how the Qur'an pairs 2 very distinct divine signatures in the exact same verse. We have An-Mulk, which is sovereignty and power, paired directly with Al-Hamd, praise and beauty. Al-Ghazali profoundly points out that holding these 2 together is exactly what trains the heart in true ibadah, true worship. Think about it. Worshipping power alone, that produces fear without love. Worshipping beauty alone produces admiration, but maybe without obedience. But put them together, they create this absolutely perfect balance of awe and intimacy.
So as we flow into verse 2, we run into a deeply challenging question about the human condition. Why did God create us in different states of belief and unbelief? The verse explicitly states that God created us, and some of us are disbelievers and some are believers, all while being watched by Al-Basir, the all-seeing. So how are we supposed to understand this massive division within our human family?
Well, to really grasp this, we have to look at both the outer and the inner dimensions. The Zahir, or the classical outer reading, explains that we're all born with a pure, original disposition, and we use our God-given freedom to either keep that openness alive or just close it off. It's a moral trajectory. But look at the Batin, the inner Sufi reading by Salah al-Tustari. He suggests this division is actually a theatrical stage for divine self-disclosure. It's a geometry completely required for God's mercy and justice to be fully recognized. From this inner perspective, the faith we wear is a divine gift. It's a costume placed upon us. And because of that, the only proper spiritually sound response to our own belief is absolute humility.
Which brings us so beautifully to verse 3, asking, what is the true purpose of our physical form? The verse tells us that the heavens and earth were created bil-haq, meaning with profound truth and purpose. And then it adds one of the most tender affirmations in the entire Qur'an, that God formed you and made your forms beautiful.
Ibn Arabi's insight brilliantly illustrates the sheer metaphysical depth of that beauty. See, it's not just about aesthetics, it's about capacity. He explains that the human form is totally unique because it mirrors all the divine names in a compressed way. Think of it like this. An angel might mirror specific names like knowledge or provision, right? But the human being, we are comprehensive. Our true dignity and our true beauty comes directly from our immense God-given capacity to receive and reflect the divine.
So, having looked at the vast cosmos and then our physical forms, verse 4 pulls us even further inward to a profoundly intimate question. Are we truly alone in the secrecy of our own chests? The verse tells us that God is alim bidat as-sudur, meaning the knower of the very essence, the actual texture of what is in our chests.
Let's move a bit deeper and see how this builds, bringing us to a beautiful dual understanding of divine presence. On the outer Zahir level, it means no private interior can evade God. The hypocrite simply cannot hide. But Maulana Rumi offers this breathtaking batin wisdom.
He teaches that the human soul often runs around in a complete panic trying to hide its secrets, only to realize, wait a minute, the one it's hiding from is the witness already sitting inside its own chest. When we finally stop hiding and just open our chests, all our shame evaporates. That heavy feeling of surveillance is beautifully transformed into an intimate embrace.
Now, you might be wondering, do the very letters and numbers of these verses conceal a deeper, universal geometry? In the Islamic tradition, there's actually a fascinating science of letters called abjad. This is where every single letter holds a specific numerical value, essentially revealing hidden connections right beneath the surface of the text.
And this brilliantly illustrates what we're talking about. The crucial insight lies in these digital roots. Notice how mulk, meaning sovereignty, reduces to the number 9. And haq, meaning truth, also reduces to 9. The math is quite literally telling us that truth and sovereignty share the exact same address. They are 1. Khalq, or creation, returns to 1, representing the creator, and sudur, the chests, reduces to 3. In classical arithmetic, 3 is the number of witnessing, the seer, the seen, and the seeing. So mathematically speaking, our very chest is designed as a 3-way witness chamber of divine encounter. How amazing is that?
What is truly fascinating is how these ancient metaphysical and scriptural claims are finding direct echoes in modern science today. The Quran says the cosmos is created bil haq, with true purpose, while today, the anthropic principle in modern cosmology reveals a universe fine-tuned with extraordinary precision. It is specifically configured to allow for conscious observers. So the universe isn't some vast, meaningless accident, it's a deeply, deeply purposeful stage.
And this purpose extends right down into the biology of our beautiful forms. Remember, the verse says, "He made your forms beautiful." Contemporary neuroscience on face perception actually shows that the human face isn't just a generic shape. We are uniquely configured for relational beauty, so much so that simply processing a human face literally reshapes our brain architecture. Our forms are biologically, factually wired for connection and beauty.
Even the profound intimacy of the chest is supported by modern findings. The Quran invites us to open our chests to the knower of hearts. Now, 14 centuries later, modern psychology confirms that hiding our true selves is incredibly costly, both physically and mentally. Willing exposure and vulnerability actually produce measurable flourishing, health, and psychological integration. Surrendering our secrets isn't just spiritually sound, it's practically essential for our everyday human well-being. Okay, so we've traversed the cosmos, the inner chest, the numbers, and the science. But as we know, the heart of any spiritual path is practice. So what does this all mean for us? How do we apply this profound cosmic and inner truth to our daily lives? How do we use this for tazkiyah, the purification of the heart, and adab, the beautiful etiquette of living?
So the crucial point is really bringing this into our routines. Here are 3 quiet, applied practices for your week ahead, grounded completely in tawakkul or deep trust. Step 1. Join the song. At the threshold of your prayer, just take 3 breaths and realize you aren't starting a prayer, you're joining a cosmic glorification that's already in progress. Step 2. Receive the divine verdict. Once a day, look in the mirror and quietly say, "Fa'ahsana suwarakum." Don't criticize yourself, don't flatter yourself, simply accept God's verdict that your form is beautiful. And step 3. At the end of the day, choose one concealed thing, maybe a fear or a small shame, and offer it up to the one who already knows your chest. Practice that willing exposure.
As we bring this explainer to a close, I'd love to invite you to join me in this brief munajat, this quiet, personal prayer. O Sovereign, whose praise the cosmos cannot end, whose truth has built the heavens for a word, whose hand has formed my face into a song. O knower of my chest, keep nothing hid. Amen. As you step out of this quiet moment and back into your daily life, ask yourself, if the entire cosmos is already singing a song of praise, what will your verse be today? Before we part, I want to gently ask for your forgiveness and God's acceptance for any mispronunciations or errors that might have occurred through the use of AI in delivering these sacred words. Compiled with gratitude by Mir Ali Shah, a seeker sharing through the Living the Wisdom of the Quran podcast. May your week be filled with the peace of an open heart.